The moment the girl spoke, the system immediately notified that Mission 2 had been successfully activated. However, at that very moment, A-Fi sensed that something was wrong. The once friendly villagers now had sharp, eerie gazes locked onto Luke Lee and A-Fi. Suddenly, the monsters grew larger and more ferocious, lunging toward the two brothers. Working in perfect sync, they struck down each creature swiftly and efficiently. However, their numbers were overwhelming. Just as one fell, another appeared in its place. After a while, the entire floor was littered with motionless bodies, and A-Fi's stamina was nearly depleted. But what was even more alarming was that the monsters had the ability to resurrect, making the situation spiral out of control. Logically speaking, Chu Do-Nyans shouldn't possess resurrection abilities. Luke Lee realized that everything happening here was completely different from the game's original design. He suspected something unusual had been going on ever since he left Thien Men Company. If things continued like this, the three of them would soon end up roasted like Lang Sun-style suckling pigs. Activating his precognition skill, Luke Lee quickly pulled A-Fi and the girl into a narrow alleyway to escape. The three of them hid inside a kitchen, avoiding the relentless pursuit of the monsters. Just as A-Fi breathed a sigh of relief, he was suddenly silenced by a familiar figure. It was Luna, the Moonlight Knight. She gestured for them to remain quiet, as the monsters were still lurking nearby. Once the danger had passed, she led them upstairs. When asked why she was there, Luna explained that she was also on a mission to investigate the village. In fact, she had arrived even earlier than they did. Sensing something was off, she had chosen to wait until nightfall to take action. However, Luke Lee and A-Fi had inadvertently disrupted her plan. The group fell into an awkward silence, with none of them moving an inch. Luke Lee was the first to break it, expressing his doubts about what was happening. He then turned to the girl and asked if she knew the truth. At first, she remained silent, but after Luna reassured her, she hesitantly removed her mask and began recounting her sorrowful story. The Bothap Koa Nyi village had once been a peaceful place where people lived in harmony. The surrounding areas were inhabited by Chu Do-Nyans, who were generally not dangerous. If encountered, people simply took a detour, and the creatures never attacked the villagers. In fact, they often mimicked human behavior, appearing almost comical. Over time, this lulled the villagers into a false sense of security. Everything changed when Knight Greek from the Holy Light Assembly arrived on patrol. He was a strong yet gentle man who organized sacred prayer ceremonies for the villagers. But on that day, the girl had felt an inexplicable pain throughout her body, as if pricked by needles. When she sought out Greek for answers, she discovered that she had awakened the Holy Light's divine blessing, a miracle that only occurred once in 1,000 years. Greek told her that she could join the Holy Light Assembly, and in return, the village would be protected from monsters. The villagers rejoiced at the news. However, before they could fully celebrate, a sudden and overwhelming monster attack struck the village. No matter how many were slain, they continuously resurrected. Greek sacrificed himself to protect everyone, but in the end, all the villagers were captured. Only the girl managed to survive. Frozen by fear, she couldn't scream for help or even run away. When she could no longer shed another tear, she reminded herself to stay strong and take responsibility since the Holy Light Assembly had chosen her. In the end, she donned a mask to blend in with the creatures, waiting for the right moment to send word to the assembly. She still hoped that the Holy Light would protect the village once more. After hearing her story, both Luke Lee and Luna fell into deep thought. Meanwhile, A-Fi jumped up, eager to solve everything at once. But just at that moment, a massive, bloodshot eye